go. We'll give that a couple of minutes. Double check this is working. Oh, dry. Okay, I think that's everything then. I'll get everything enabled. Cool, right. Good evening everyone, welcome back to SRL. We're here for round number 4 here in Azerbaijan. This is the first part of our European leg. Round number 4. Currently Reese leading the driver's title by a fair way over the two Ferraris of FRT Klar and Tazonic. FRT Klar isn't actually here, I thought he would have been. But fair enough, I suppose. I thought he signed up, but anyways, so first driver on track, SRL Apollo in the Williams, the only Williams as of now. Seb, his teammate, is now a reserve after missing 3 races in a row, so SRL Apollo, the sole Williams left on this grid. Pete as well, unfortunately, has had to move down to reserve because of work commitments and other things, so unfortunate to see someone like Pete go, reigning Constructors Champions, him and Greg Stars, as Despair goes down the escape road. So now it's Greg Stars and Allied Squire in the Red Bull. Kieran clobbering the curb there at turn number 6. 20 turns at this Azerbaijan circuit, 3.730 miles, or 6 kilometers barring 0.003. So pretty much bang on 6 kilometers, 26 laps await us here. Strategies are going to be very split indeed, and predicting either a softer hard or a soft double medium strategy. But then again, as it's Baku, there's probably going to be a lot of safety cars. So it's always a possibility to shake things up. It definitely did last season, although this was the first time we experienced a safety car glitch this time last season. Where we had loads of consecutive safety cars for no real good reason, unfortunately. Eclipse has retired at Castle Section. That is the first retirement of the session, and that's going to hold up one of the Hasses. Probably won't be able to find a way through. A little bit of a roadblock going now. But I guess the action zones into this circuit as we ride and wall Kieran for the first lap of this qualifying session. Still has ERS turned off, so maybe doing a bit of a practice run. Crowd capacity here is 18,500 people, so not a lot, but it is a street circuit, so that's definitely to be expected, where balconies are the main grandstands around this circuit, aside from, I guess, along the start-finish straight. First GP here was 2016, where it was branded the European Grand Prix. That was changed in 2017 to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. First European GP since 2012 at the circuit of Valencia in Spain. First race, I believe, in the country of Azerbaijan in general in Formula 1. Race lap record holder for real life is Charles Leclerc with a 143.009, and last season's pole position belongs to Alain Despair at 138.627. I could definitely see that being beaten. I might try a little different thing from now on, because I must admit I have become a bit of a time trial sweat in my absence of racing. So I've taken a much different approach to like setups and general driving. So my own prediction... Oh, Havoc's gone at turn 15. Apollo across the line, 1:43.0. Definitely on a race run of fuel here. But I guess my now prediction time for pole position is going to be my own personal best around each circuit from now on. I think that'll be a nice little, I don't know, I guess you could maybe call it a humble brag, but spare goes fastest, 1:42.9. But I don't know, it's a bit more of a decent way to get an estimate. So I'm definitely predicting it'll be around about the same as last season's pole, mid to low 38s. So I'm going to go 38.5 or 38.4 is my prediction, but that also, it depends as well if anyone picks up a toe or anything like that can throw curveballs throughout most of qualifying, as Greg Styles, Gangster Al, goes P6 in the Haas, just behind his teammate. Bradford's on an outlap, as is Allied Squire in the Red Bull. But, I think that's pretty much everything I've got on my little cheat sheet here of track things about Baku. I guess, well, the action zones, I think, is the only thing I've got left to do. So, main overtaking spots are going to be turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and maybe, if you're ballsy enough, turn 15. And then the big action zone of the race is definitely going to be turn 8, which is castle section. We're probably going to see a lot of accidents happening at that sequence of corners, the turn 8, 9 and 10 little sequence. That is the castle section. Apollo coming back into the pits now. So maybe he wasn't on a race run. Yeah, his fuel light's blinking, so he's just going for a very conservative lap, but definitely not needed, as 2 people have retired, Havoc and Eclipse, so everyone just needs to set a lap. And then that's basically qualifying 1 done. It's 5 Crown improves on his lap time, but stays P3, 1:42.6 for the Aston Martin. Paper Stream across the line doesn't improve. There's a slow lap, or maybe a cool down to go again for Paper Stream, probably giving his teammate a bit of a tow or something. Bradford coming to the end of a lap here into the infamous turn 15, where we've already lost Havoc this qualifying session. It's 1:16.8 first 2 sections from Bradford, bit of a lock up as well, and not wanting to change out a third either. Rounding the last couple of corners now for the McLaren driver. Powering along, DRS open, Speedo's going to climb and climb and climb, probably going to be seeing about 340 k's down this straight. Bradford goes fastest, 1:41.9, 10th quicker than Despair. Allied Squire, I believe, will be the next driver to complete a lap. So we have a spinner, that's Tazonic, the sole Ferrari in this race. Yeah, it's his teammate Clar, not here, absent from the race weekend. Allied Squire is supposedly purple through the 2nd sector. And Apollo has retired in the pit lane. He thinks he's done enough. Well, he basically has. All you need to do was set a lap, and he has done so. So he's just waiting for Squire and Daleks to complete laps. So Squire goes to the top of the timing sheets, 39.6 from the Red Bull. Reese also need to improve, currently in P16, so Reese and now the 2 Alfa Romeos then needing to improve, or at least set a lap time, but I believe everyone and anyone does need to. RSF1 Hunt, I believe, is coming to the end of his qualifying run in the sister McLaren. McLaren's sole point scorer at this current moment in time. 16.6, pretty much matching his teammate through the first 2 sectors. So that's maybe on course at the moment for P2, maybe even P3. His Paper Stream is very, very close to Bradford. A bit of a wonky line from the McLaren there, darting around the track. Not exactly ideal. You want to kind of stick to one part. But across the line, it's 41.4 for RSF on Hunt going P2. Paper has gone maybe for a little bit of adventure down the escape road. Gangster Al not on a lap. Brando is, so he's probably going to be one of the most complete laps we'll get to witness here. Is the Alpha Tauri, the man that won last weekend. So making it 3 different winners in 3 races. We had Reese round 1, Clar round 2, and Brando round 3. So I wonder if we'll have 4 and 4. Providing as long as Brando and Reese don't win, we will have a new winner. Because Clar isn't here. But definitely have to wait and see where this ends up at the end of the 26 laps. Plus the qualifying session that we have right in front of us at this current moment in time. The AlphaTauri barreling through turn 15, now up to 16. It's a 16.1. That's definitely a very quick first couple of sectors from the AlphaTauri. Just the long straight now left to go. This feels like it goes on forever when you're on a qualifying lap. All you need to do is just keep your right foot down, keep the car as straight as possible, open DRS. Brando double tapping DRS there. Up to the line, and it's a 140.9, goes P2 in the Honda Pad Red Bull AlphaTauri. Reese coming to the end of his lap, was definitely not setting the timing sheets on fire, 121.1, but you don't need to push. And Reese fully aware of that, I'm imagining, for the Alfa Romeo, as we have Tazonic go P2 with 140.1. We have the Red Bulls as Greg Star's getting a cheeky little tow here. As Reese comes back into the pits, he's aborted his lap. Greg Stars goes fastest, 39.6. Marginally quicker than Allied Squire. Red Bull 1-2 at this current moment in time. Mercedes of Richard coming through to the castle section now. Not having a lap on the board just yet. Very cautious through Castle for the Mercedes. But got through in one piece at least, that's all we need to do. And then just waiting for the 2 Alfa Romeos. And Richard, the last drivers that are capable of setting lap times, still in the session. Oh, is Richard straight into the wall. That's no front wing. He's lucky to not have lost a tyre there. The Daleks is going to be starting a lap now then in the Alfa Romeo. I wonder if anyone's coming to the end of a lap first. Prado comes into the pits. Andrew is midway through a lap, 0.3 down. At this current moment in time is the Alpine. Down to turn number 15, hard on the brakes, turning in. Very nice and quick through there. 16.6, he's a second up on his time. It's probably on track at the moment, top 5 perhaps, depending on how his first and last sectors add up. As only saw the time through the first and second, but hopefully his first sector was decent enough. And then we'll see where this lap gets the Alpine. P5, 41.2, just ahead of RSF on Hunt. Brando retires in the pits, he's done enough so far. So at the moment, we will actually, at this current moment in time anyway, be losing Daleks and Reese if they don't get laps on the board. So definitely need to get these laps, or even a lap on the board. You don't even have to go quick at all, you could just cruise around. Trim tyres in the pit lane as we round the last 2 corners for the Alfa Romeo. 15.9, it was a very quick couple of first sectors. Could be a new fastest time from Daleks here. In the Alpha. Speedo climbing and climbing and climbing, with the ERS draining as well. Might run out just before the line, yet deployment used right before the line. P5. So it might not have been a very good first sector, but it was definitely a really good middle, and maybe a little bit more downforce on the Alfa Romeo then, but still P5 so far. We have Tazonic coming to the end of a lap. 5 grams retired in the pit lane. Currently P11 for the Aston Martin. The Tazonic up to the line for the Ferrari now. It's going to be P3, 39.9. Purple last sector, just behind the 2 Red Bulls at this current moment in time. Reese starting a lap now. So we'll do a full lap with Reese then. Into turn 1, braking 100 metres, flick the car in over the curbs. You can kind of 50-50 grind these curbs. It's a decent line for some unbeknownst reason. Look for the no stopping sign just before the 50 metre board. For turn 2, DRS wide open, smooth but quick on the power, especially with all these 90-degree corners. It's going to really affect the rear tyres. Braking about 100 metres here, chuck the car in turn 3, almost just about avoid that curb. Reese has done that perfectly. And to turn 4, braking 50 metres, chuck the car in. Slight bit of a lock-up for the Alfa Romeo, but nothing to amiss. Coming to the end of the first sector, 35.2 as he chucks it in through turn 6 and 7. 5 and 6. It's 5 and 6, definitely. This is turn 7. Now into the castle section for the Alfa Romeo. Nice and cautious. No need to push as of this moment. Just need to get a lap on the board. It was very close to an invalidation there at the opening part of the this kind of weird flowy section. Going down to turn 15. Braking very hard, just about the 50 metre board. Chucking the car in, being careful on the power. Now braking again, around about 70 metres for this corner, 15.6, very good middle sector for Reese here. This is definitely going to catapult him up the order. Whereabouts is it going to be? That is the remaining question, but all he needs now is just keep the run to the line as short as possible, which he's doing, hanging to the left, and it will keep the line as short as possible. Up to the line, P5, so it's 4.2. No one able to match the 2 Red Bulls, Despair and Tazonic at this current moment in time. Richard with no front wing yet again. As long as he doesn't crash, he will still be safe. For Q2, Despair is invalidated. So that is qualifying pretty much over then, unless Despair's going to go for another lap. He definitely doesn't have the ERS to. And then Reese is just coming back into the pits after finishing his. Tazonic retires, as does Richard. Richard is out of qualifying. Didn't take it cautiously enough without a front wing. So that is 3 drivers then out. That is the 2 Mercedes and Eclipse. 3 Mercedes powered cars being eliminated from Q1 here in Azerbaijan. So we will only have 14 for Q2, and we will lose 4 unless anyone else crashes as well. But Red Bull 1-2 then at the end of qualifying 1, LR Despair 3rd. 3 Honda powered cars occupy the top 3 spaces. Then you have Tazonic in 4th, Reese in 5th, Brando in 6th, the other AlphaTauri, Daleks in 7th, GRT Andrew 8th, RSF on Hunt and Bradford, the 2 McLarens rounding out the top 10, Paperstream 11th, 5 Crown in 12th, SRL Apollo in 13th, lasting more than 1 qualifying session, and Gangster Al rounding out those to complete a lap in the Haas. And then those out of qualifying, the 2 Mercedes, the 2 Mercedes and Eclipse's Aston Martin, as the Alfa Romeo goes for a lovely kiss of the barriers a few times. So there we go then, Q1 is complete. Now the drivers will probably start pushing a little bit, because this is where you put on the chopping block here, and it's where it definitely matters to start getting pace out of these cars. Otherwise you'll be starting outside the top 10. The last game actually, that'll actually matter. So it's not going to be too much of a detriment anymore, starting outside the top 10 from F1 2022 and beyond, due to the Q2 tyre rule being scrapped. So anyone in the top 10 will be able to start on pretty much whatever tyre they please, even without qualifying on it. So I could definitely picture what that might do in league racing. Everyone's going to use mediums in Q1, and then it's just going to be softs for the rest of the qualifying session. And probably going to see people not afraid to use scrub sets either, especially Q1 and Q2, because it won't matter in the end. And then you'll have as many fresh sets as you want for Q3, I suppose, although you probably only need the 2. So we have SRL Apollo will be first yet again to complete, or to start and then complete, a qualifying lap in the sole remaining Williams. 0 points for this team at the moment. I believe they're the only team left to score now that McLaren have got a couple of points on the board from Hunt last week at Singapore. So Apollo's got his work cut out a little bit. But I'm sure eventually we'll be able to find a teammate for him, and he'll be perfectly fine to get a little bit further up those standings. So here we go then. Getting ready then. ERS should probably be flicked on around about now. There we go, it does so. See the deployment light no longer there, or the harvesting light no longer there. Rounding the last few corners then for Apollo. So we'll ride off board for this one, and just let the cameras do their thing in this qualifying session, spectating this lovely Williams. A lot of people don't like this livery. I personally say it's one of my favourites last year, and probably even this year as well. I do like the last 2 Williams cars, or even the last 3. 2020s wasn't too bad either. We're focusing on the 2021 at the moment. The last, it's the last crop of these type of cars here, where all the aero comes from aero pieces rather than soon-to-be ground effect cars. So you can see the scratch board just underneath the Williams there. You can just about see it at certain angles. The plank of what is basically wood. It scratches along the floor. That's when you'll see all the sparking from, especially when they run low ride height, and when you also have very bumpy tracks like Bahrain, Abu Dhabi. That's the only 2 that spring to mind immediately. I would say Qatar, but we don't run at Qatar, unfortunately, at the moment. 16-1 from Apollo in the first 2 sectors. But yeah, this is the last group of cars that are not necessarily the best for racing. Obviously in game we can produce a lot better racing than in real life, primarily because we don't have the fear of death and or injury. Apollo to the top of the timing sheets, 140.7. First time on the board. 5 Crown will be the next driver. 41.3 is slower than Apollo. Allied Squire, it won't be Allied Squire, it will be not Brando because he's invalidated. So it will be Allied Squire then. In the Red Bull with the George Russell helmet, the Russell designed helmet anyway, that was made for this game, alongside the Daniel Ricciardo designed stuff as well. 14.6 for Allied Squire in the first 2 sectors. Very, very quick indeed. Probably looking at definitely a 39 here at least. Depending on the last sector, maybe look at 38. I'll have to wait and see. But 38.6 is the time to beat from last year. And also basically my prediction as well. 39.2 for Allied Squire, but that is P1 nonetheless. A very good lap. From the Red Bull, the Haas, a paper stream, rounding the last couple of corners now, or the last corner. Now it's just full beans, full power, DRS wide open. Allied Squire goes for a spin out of turn 2. And up to the line for paper stream, 42.1 for the Haas. Puts him slowest of all so far. We have a lot of people on the medium tyres, which is definitely an interesting strategy call. Despair is on a lap, so we're right on board with the McLaren. We have the two Hasses maybe swapping positions or waiting to give each other a tow. Both of them, well, Gangster Al is on a lap, Paperstream has just finished one. But Despair rounding the last few corners now in his AlphaTauri. 14.2, also very quick in the first two sectors. But rounding those last few moments of the lap. Now it's just full beans and let the Honda engine sing. With the DRS wide open, getting as much speed as possible. 38.7 is the new fastest time. 1/10 off his pole time last season. So he's only got to find a 10th. There's still a bit of track evolution to come, although this is a track that doesn't overly matter because it's just, you just need to minimise this last sector and you've basically gained a load of time already. And you just need to have as low downforce as you possibly can run without affecting the rear end grip too much, especially through the weight transfer of turns 18 and 19. Which is the one that Paperstream has just emerged from. Well, Paperstream has just gone through turn 20, so that'll be the Red Bull now, through turn 18 and 19. Yeah, that's Greg Stars. Gangster Al, 0.8 off his teammate, with a 42.9. RSF on Hunt, coming to the end of a lap. And then it will be Andrew. So it's the McLaren and then the Alpine will be the last, or the next cars to complete their runs. But the first of the medium runners, we have 4 people on the mediums. And this is the first one. It's going to be on the board. It's going to be from RSF on Hunt. Not going to set the timing sheets on fire with this lap, but 42.0. It's not overly bad for medium tyres. Hopefully, well, RSF on Hunt will be hoping that's enough to get him through. Probably going to go for the medium, either double medium soft or medium hard, or not sure really. I guess the standard strategy around here would be a one-stop. GRT Andrew, 41.4, 0.6 clear. So Andrew taking the fastest medium runner spot. Dalek's going to throw his hat into the ring here. 41.5, 10th off of Andrew there. Greg Stars round the last few corners now for the Red Bull. Number, I believe, 8. Couldn't quite see because of the camera angles. Yeah, it is number 8. Just see on the nose there. But coming up to the line now for the Honda powered Red Bull. P3, 39.6. Greg Stars is definitely one to watch this weekend. He's been on the pace pretty well indeed. Brando, P3, so he's putting his hat into the ring, I suppose. But yeah, 4 Honda powered cars occupying the top 4. Bradford apparently fastest through the first sector in the McLaren. a lot of yellow flags. So we have, I think one of them is Brando, one of them is Andrew, and Bradford is going to come up to Andrew now. Hopefully Andrew gets well out of the way. Well, there's definitely a couple of bits of traffic in front of him here. Yeah, the Alpine gets well out of the way. I think it might be out of fuel. Look at that. No, he's just going very slowly indeed. But, Bradford then rounding the last couple of corners, seeing what he can do. His teammate's done a 42.0, although on the harder compounded tyres, he's definitely going to be wanting to get around about 5 crown, 41.3. And he does so, 40.9. Puts him literally P6. Apollo currently running P5, very impressive from him at the moment. That was his first lap of the qualifying session. It's still good enough for P5 at this current moment in time. As we have Despair retire, he believes he's done enough. Tazonic now rounding the last, or going up to the straight at least, and that's P5 on the mediums, 39.9. This is a very, very quick lap. As Andrew has retired in P9. So he's either going top 10 on mediums or start outside the top 10 and probably still start on mediums. But he has RSF1 Hunt, Paperstream, Reese, Daleks and Gangster Al behind him. But, last few minutes here of this Q2 session, so definitely going to be wanting to see a bit of improvement from the bottom 5 here. Reese hasn't even set a lap yet, so he's leaving it very late. Dallas has gone up the escape road there at turn 2. Reese is still not out on track. I say that and there he is. You just see the Alfa Romeo mechanics sending the car out on track. He has left it pretty fine. A pretty fine margin for him to try and get round. I think there's still about 2.5 minutes left. There you go, literally just saw it momentarily. Well, there you go, back up now, just over 2 minutes. Gangster Al into turn 1 for the Haas. Will be the first car to set another lap in this second bout of runs in this qualifying session. Paperstream has retired in the pit lane, so he is not going to be taking any more part in this qualifying session. P12 is the most he can currently hope for, just depending on if his teammate and Reese improve. So the bare minimum he can go is P14. Gangster Al through the first couple of, well, the first sector now, he's marginally up on his time, 16 thousandths of a second. Through the first couple of corners now, well, the first sector anyway, now into the middle sector. Through the infamous castle section, very cautious and very late on the turn-in. I think we'll have a Williams up here of Apollo, getting well out of the way. Just about. But, I think Apollo has any need to go again, to be perfectly honest. I think he's perfectly fine where he is. As Gangster L is now about 3/10 up on his time. He's starting a lap. I thought that was just Daleks finishing one then. It's Gangster Al, or it's Reese, sorry, starting one, as Gangster Al comes to finish his. So looking at the delta now, how much time has he gained? It's not enough. P13 for the Haas. Next will be the McLaren of RSF1 Hunt. He's got a bit of a tow here from the Aston Martin of 5. Quite erratic driving from these two. Yeah, RSF Hunt picking up a lovely little cheeky toe here. It's going to definitely bring him very far up the order. And he does, P7. That's not even 5 crown, that is... Who is that? Oh, it's Apollo. Okay, that makes perfect sense then. I thought it was 5 because it looked quite dark on the rear wing. Looking at the map. But, 5 is invalidated and he doesn't have a front wing. Daleks is up on his time. He can knock Andrew out this qualifying session. Coming up to the line. DRS now open in this zone. They should really make this DRS zone a lot longer than it actually is, but there you go. Daleks up to the line. P6, so that knocks Andrew out of qualifying. SRL not improving. Reese will be. This could knock 5 crown out of qualifying. As he retires in the pits. So it's going to be P11 for 5. And it is P4 for Reese, knocking the Aston out of qualifying. I'm completely backed off, so just waiting for Apollo now to complete his second run. Not overly needed, but I imagine he wants it as decent practice to see what he can do in Q3. It's 3 and a bit seconds down, so it's not, maybe it's just giving RSF Hunt a bit of a toe then. That then means your qualifying 2 order goes as follows. Allard Despair fastest of all, Allard Squire in second place, Brando in third, Reese into fourth, Greg Stars 5th, Tazonic in 6th on the medium tyres, Daleks in 7th, Apollo in 8th, RSF1 Hunt in 9th, Bradford only just getting through in P10. As I got a bit confused then, I thought someone jumped down the order. RSF1 Hunt takes the checker flag to end the qualifying session now. But then, here we go then. So those eliminated are 5 crown, GRT Andrew, Paperstream, Gangster Al. So the 2 Hasses, Andrew who didn't want to commit to a soft run, and 5 crown who got damage and an invalidation on his last run. So Despair at the moment, pretty clear of everyone else right now. Probably still waiting for a few drivers to fully turn the wick up yet. Take their sandbags out or take their side pods off, whichever they fancy. But so it should be a pretty entertaining end to this qualifying session. It usually is around Baku. It's just going to be if anyone tries to pick up a cheeky little slipstream. But you definitely have some people that are capable of getting the pace without it, and looking at the top 5 from last session being Despair, Brando, Squire, Reese and Greg Stars. I think they're definitely able to get that pace without having to use the toe. So Apollo is first out on track yet again. So for all 3 qualifying sessions, Apollo has been the first car out on track. So he will be first to give this a go. Everyone will now have a free set of tyres they are given, which is used only in Q3. It's reserved for if you get through. If not, then that set doesn't serve any form of purpose. You can't use it in the race, you can't use it anywhere else. It's literally a Q3 tyre, so it's a bit of a reward. It's like, congratulations, you've survived the first 2 parts of qualifying, have a free set of softs. So we have pretty much everyone coming out on track immediately. I think the only exceptions, the 2 Alfa Romeos and RSF on Hunt. So they're going to wait just that little bit longer. Apollo will be starting a lap now then in the Williams. Takes a slightly wider line through the last corner. Bradford's gone for a bit of a spin out of Castle section there, or maybe it's just getting out of the way, trying to get a bit of a cheeky toe. Oh, that's Apollo grazing the wall. I think that could be damage. This is the nature of sim. Is he going to carry on though? Sorry about that. I had to sneeze and just about mute my mic in time. Very surprised that wasn't damage for Apollo there, unless he's just going to soldier on with a little bit of his front wing missing. It doesn't look like there's any damage, but as is the nature of this game, you can get little lime green damage that doesn't look like anything, but it actually is, and it's very, very inconvenient indeed. RSF on Hunt now out on track, so it just leaves the 2 Alfa Romeos. Apollo through the first sector now, very decent so far. Rounding into the Castle section, now goes the Williams. It's very neat and tidy through there so far. Coming to the last part of the lap. Turn 15 gets that pretty good. 16.3 first 2 sectors. That's I think the fastest I've seen Apollo. Grinds over the curb and stays valid, which is always good. And it's just going to foot flat to the floor for the rest of the lap now for Apollo. Just keep it in a straight line. Activate DRS as quickly as possible. He's done that very nicely indeed. So up to the line for Apollo. It is a 41.0. First time on the board. Now it's going to be Despair next. 38.5. He beats his pole time from last season, and so far matching my prediction. Greg Stars will be next in the senior team compared to the AlphaTauri. Up to the line, 39.5 from the Red Bull. Next is going to be Tazonic. Tazonic is 14.7 in the first 2 sectors. I have to wait and see what that is good enough for the Ferrari. Oh, that's very wide. I think there's a graze of the wall as well. Definitely heard the sound scrub off a little bit. But he's going to complete the lap anyway. I mean, it's literally a straight line, so you might as well. 39.4, that's good enough for P2 for Tazonic. His next driver to complete a lap is RSF on Hunt. That was a very cheeky line through there, but it's valid. That is basically the line through there. It's a bit annoying. RSF on Hunt does the Castle section pretty nicely as well. Now it's up to turn 15 for him. Rounding the last couple of corners now. A bit of a traffic jam forming here. Is hopefully the Alfa Romeo doesn't get in the way. That's Daleks. Not quite, I don't think. He's going to pick up. RSF on Hunt's going to pick up a bit of a slipstream here. As Apollo is out, he's grazed the wall and he's lost a wheel at turn 19. It's RSF on Hunt picking up the toe here. He's oh dear, oh dear indeed. I was very puzzled as to why he didn't just cross the line and then brake, which is what he should have done, because he wouldn't have been going for another lap. And he's pretty much just ruined Daleks' chance here. I can't quite see how long's left, because Bradford decided it would be a good idea to run out of fuel. 5 minutes left. Okay, so Daleks should have enough time to get back to the pits. and try again, providing he doesn't hit the wall, but very naughty indeed from RSF on Hunt. Definitely believe he should have slammed on the brakes as soon as it crossed the line, rather than try and send it up the inside of turn 1. But that's what he did, and then he just parked it on the apex, and Daleks went straight into the back of him, losing his front wing. But it's just waiting for these two to trundle back to the pits now. No one else out on track. Brando, recent allied Squire, still left to come out and attempt a lap time, and then Daleks denied his first attempt. But providing all these guys set lap times, that would knock Apollo down to P10. Providing they also beat that 141.0. But so far, the Williams sitting in P6, the McLaren's P4 and 5 at this current moment in time. But Despair, pretty much in a world of his own at this current moment in time. He does say he loves this track in chat, but let's see if he can convert wherever he qualifies, because qualifying isn't over yet. But let's see if he can convert any of that pace into a race victory at the end of the 26 laps that are going to be here very, very soon indeed. Just looking through, I can't see any mechanics in the pit lane, so we're definitely going to be waiting a little while for anyone to come out on track. No, still can't see any activity at the moment, so going to be waiting a few minutes at least. There is a Red Bull, that is Allied Squire. And that is an unsafe release from the AlphaTauri of Brando, I believe. Yes, it is. Brando just completely goes into the pit lane. But he gives up the position. I wonder if we're going to see these two keep swapping round. One of them might want the toe, one of them might not. We'll have to wait and see. But it will be, well, at least be one of these two, so I'll wait and ride on board at the moment with Brando. Here's the car behind at this current moment in time, but you never know if Squire is going to back off and become the driver behind and pick up that cheeky little toe. Not at the moment. I think he's actually kind of going quite fast, so it's going to create a bit of an air gap, and Brando looks like he's backing off a little bit. Yeah, Brando backs off, so it will be Squire then that will be the first driver of the bottom four that haven't set a lap, but also the first driver of the second phase of this qualifying session to set a lap. So rounding the last corner now then for the Red Bull. I'll try my best to do a track guide here with the off-board cameras, but this is probably going to go horribly wrong because I'm not going to see the car as it approaches where it needs to brake fully. But turn 1 should be scoping around about the 100-meter board and riding the curb either side. He's done that very nicely. Then ride the curb either side. Not quite through there, but then you look for 50 meters for this corner here, or just before 50 meters. Looks pretty tidy so far through the first couple of corners, although it's just nothing but 90-degree corners for the first sector of this track. Now into turn 3, braking around about 100 meters, chuck the car in, let the car drift naturally wide to the wall. Done that very nicely. Now through turn 4. Be careful of the inside curb, it can offset you a little bit of a bump, but I don't think it's offsetting too much. 34.7 in this the first sector, very nice returns. 5 and 6 for Allied Squire. Getting on the power, the rear end, slight little complaint. A little bit of a rear end wiggle there. Cuts turn 7, but that's completely legal according to the game. Now through turn 8, 9 and 10, the castle section. Does that very nicely indeed. Now turn 11. Takes the offline of turn 12 as well. Now it's turn 13, 14, and now down to 15. But it's so far so tidy for Allied Squire in his Red Bull. I believe this is now his full-time seat, providing he takes it. I believe he has, to my knowledge. So it'll be him and Greg Stars will be scoring points for Red Bull from now on. But, it's been a very good lap so far from Squire. Let's see where this gets him on the leaderboard. Okay, we'll go on board for the last little part of this lap. Up to the line, 38.9. It's not enough to dislodge Despair. Despair stayed in the pit, so he's only done the one lap. Brando goes P2, marginally slower than his teammate, only a slight smidge away, but the AlphaTauri's locking out the front row so far, unless either of the Alfa Romeos can respond here. We'll have Daleks crossing the line now. Let's see his lap time. Goes P6. Reese crossing the line now as well in the other Alfa Romeo, P4. Oh, that's Tazonic in the barriers at Castle section. I just switched to him and saw the tyre come off. That is the full Leclerc experience there, and that's definitely going to upset Greg Starr's lap. What about the two McLarens? We have Bradford giving his teammate a tow. I think his teammate's just clouted the wall there. And yeah, that is no front wing for RSF 100. I wonder if he's still going to complete the lap, considering it's just a straight line. He's got the tow. He's definitely going to complete it at least, but up to the line, and it's not an improvement. No surprise there, considering he doesn't have a front wing. And Greg Stars has backed out of his lap as well. So then, qualifying over, it is an AlphaTauri 1-2. Allied Squire's car has also decided to bin itself in the castle section. You just see all the cars sail on past. But it's Red Bull, well, technically a Red Bull 1-2-3, or a Honda 1-2-3 at least. Reese in P4, Tazonic in P5. After having a nasty scrap of the barriers at castle section. Greg Stars P6. Not able to improve on his last lap. Was definitely off put by Tazonic in the castle section, but that's just how it goes. In these qualifying sessions, especially around street circuits, it's just so hard to be on it. Daleks in P7, RSF on Hunt P8, Bradford P9, and then Apollo running out the top 10. Everyone's done well to avoid Allied Squire's car. It's just sitting here at the moment. It's a good thing that isn't Q2 or Q1, otherwise he would have been out for that, because the weird way this game works is it decides it would be a great thing if you crash, or if your AI crashes and you're not even in control of the car, it thinks you deserve to start at the back of the grid. Because why not? Really? I suppose that's a why not situation, considering you can invalidate your time on brake marker boards, as I found out the other day, which is quite funny. But Ella Despair beats his qualifying time from last year, only just though, by about 0.5 of a second. Brando P2, also beating last season's pole, but it is an AlphaTauri 1-2. And if they can convert that in the race, that is going to be a lovely handful of points, especially over the likes of Alfa Romeo and Ferrari, to bring another contender into this championship fight. And be all the more closer as well, given our new point system that we run. So a 1-2 with fastest lap at either of the drivers is 27 points. No, sorry, it's 28 points. My bad, because it's 15, 12, and 1. So let's see if those two will be able to convert. Dry race by the looks of it, unless there's going to be rain later on, like there was last season. Brando, do I remember your job title? Your real life job title, or your metaphorical league racing job title? A Minister of Defence, the Scottish Minister of Defence. Or is it the Scottish Minister of Assassination, which is what I branded you at Australia? So you're either going to defend like a lion or you're going to assassinate your teammate. I'd personally like to see both, just because why not? But still an AlphaTauri 1-2. Let's have a quick look at race director. Actually, no, I'll wait till the formation lap for this, because then I'll actually have something to say. But so yeah, this is the beginning of our European leg. Off memory, the next race is Imola. I can't really remember anything after that, in all honesty. I should really write it down. But it is definitely Imola next weekend, the San Marino the Circuit Imola in San Marino. And I believe, is it Portugal after that? I think it's Portugal. I just got to remember the order that I did thumbnails in. I think it's Imola, Portugal, Britain, Austria, Belgium, Monaco, and then I think it's Brazil, Canada, or Canada, Brazil, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi. I think. I'll tell you what, while I wait, I'll actually be useful, use my brain, and look at the standings, because it'll be on there. Okay, I was kind of right, I suppose. Okay, so it's yeah, next up is Imola, then it's Portugal, then it's Britain, Austria, Belgium, Monaco, Brazil, Canada, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and then the finale in Abu Dhabi. But yeah, so far Reese leading us in the standings, 37 points after 3 consecutive podiums. FRT Clar in second place after a P4 and a fastest lap and a first and fastest lap, but then didn't finish Singapore. Brando in third after the win at Singapore. That's definitely elevated him quite high in the standings. Paperstream still running in P4. Andrew in fifth, both on 18 points, as I remember Andrew whinging about that during the week. Why am I not ahead? Because I've got a podium. Because Paperstream is built different, you're not. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Anyway, Pete is P6 in the Red Bull, with a singular finish to his name, but that finish was a podium, P2. Tazonic in 7th position, 5 Crown in 8th, Despair in 9th, Eclipse in 10th. Havoc just outside the top 10 in P11. RSF1 Hunt, the sole McLaren scorer, P12, and then Greg Stars, P13. But the order of the constructors might change a fair bit, so I won't really do the constructors at the moment because we have a few driver transfers. But then you have Gangster Al, Bradford, Apollo, Richard, Butler, Seb and Daleks all left to score points, as well as Squire as well. Right, let's get chat back up just in case I need it. Here we go then. So, getting the tyre one first. Everyone in the top 10 bar Tazonic is on the soft tyres. Taz opting for the mediums. 5 Crown on the softs, Andrew on the hards, Paperstream on the softs, Gangster Owl on the mediums, Richard and Havoc, both Mercedes, opting for the softs, and Eclipse opting for the medium tyres. So a fairly split strategy all round this race. Let's get the position indicator up because then I can kind of see who has a good start. But 26 laps of the Azerbaijan street circuit are going to wait. A 17 start this race. Let's see how many make the flag. We've not had, I guess, an overly ideal finish rate. We had 20 start and 5 finish at Australia. We had 19 start and I think it was 11 finish at Japan, which wasn't bad. And then it was, I believe, 19 start and 9 finish at Singapore. So hopefully it would be nice to see more than 10 people finish, because then you don't have to trundle around and get a point, which would be quite nice, because then it goes to show a bit more those points being a bit more hard fought, at least, rather than just cruising around. But then again, you have to be in it to win it, so that's all you really gotta really look out for. Keep your car clean, make the most of everyone else. Havoc's left the session. I'll try and get that an invite now, but that's going to pause the stream. Alright, I don't particularly want to do that too much throughout this entire stream. We have 4 people disqualified. You have RSF1 Hunt, Bradford, Apollo, and 5 have all been removed from the formation lap, probably for collisions. Havoc is back. Brando is overtaken. And I'll despair, an absolutely scintillating overtake goes straight through his teammate there. But here we go then, gearing up for the start of this Azerbaijan Grand Prix, the beginning of our European leg, which will take us all the way to round number 10, or just after round number 10 at Monaco. So we'll start and finish the European leg with a street circuit. Always nice to see. Always a lot of chaos. So let's see what we're treated to this evening, if I can get a good camera angle. Here we go then. Lights are coming on now. Lights out and away we go. It's a pretty even start from the top 2. Reese has had a pretty good pull away there. Already a challenging Allied Squire for P3. Goes down the inside. That's Daleks absolutely sending it on someone there at the first corner. I don't know if that made contact with the likes of Tazonic and Greg Stars, but it is still the AlphaTauris P1 and 2. 5 Crown has made a really good start, up 2 places already, as has Daleks with his Turbo 1 antics. Havoc already up 2 places as well. Eclipse up 1. Richard had a terrible start. They're down into P17 already. So far it's pretty much as they were for the opening few parts of this race. Carrying on staying on board with the race leader here, as everyone's kind of just bunched up at the moment. Not a lot of room for overtaking at all really. But 5 slightly on the back of one of the McLarens there, Bradford. Greg Stars is also on the back of Tazonic. Let's have a quick look at that. As Greg Stars had to really slam on the brakes to not hit the back. There's 5 and SRL Apollo go into combat. Apollo through castle section. Makes it through. Well done, Kieran. You've done more than practice, my friend. Well done. And but so far the top 2 or even the top 3 have pretty much disappeared. Despair has broken DRS to his teammate so far. It's Richard and Eclipse battling over P16. Richard gets the measure of Eclipse. Let's try and look at all these gaps here. Also from Hunt going for a move on Greg Stars. Greg Stars had a horrible run through turn 19. Oh, that's a crash for 5 Crown at the back. We could be seeing a safety car. Virtual safety car has been deployed. And a lot of people are going to pit. Tazonic jumps at that, as does Hunt and Greg Stars. They all take the opportunity, as does Apollo. Havoc as well. I think that's it. Eclipse pits. There's literally no reason to. You're on medium tyres. This just completely destroyed your own strategy there. But stays a virtual safety car. Everyone in the top lot remaining kind of... Well, the top 10 remaining out, at least, not taking the benefit, or the slim benefit, of the virtual safety car. Let's have a quick look at see what tyres people have put on. Hunt on the mediums, Tazonic and Gregstar's on the hards, Apollo, Havoc and Eclipse on mediums again. Maybe Eclipse had damage then, that's probably why he had to pit. Otherwise it would have been a bit silly if it pit normally off of the medium tyres. But this does mean there's a lot of position gains. Andrew, Paperstream, Gangster, Alan, Richard all up 5. Bradford's up 3, Daleks is up 2. As they did not pit. Still an AlphaTauri 1-2 at this current moment in time. Reese sitting a very good P4 as well. Allard Squire 3rd. Daleks in 5th. Bradford in 6th. Andrew 7th. 2 Hasses currently running in the points. And Richard also P10 is, well, that was a very awkward line through there for RSF1 Hunt. Through the castle section. So ride with the AlphaTauri so far. Probably one of the closest cars to another one. 6/10 to his teammate using a bit of battery. Both of them on very, very similar battery. DRS is now enabled. It's lap 3 of 26 then. It is Bradford pits, not using the virtual safety car. I guess maybe not to hold up his teammate, but probably would have lost not a lot of time under a VSC. Despair goes very defensive very quickly. But Bradford dropping down the order. He's definitely going to be round about last. Probably nearing Havoc and Eclipse. But so far it is still that AlphaTauri 1-2. I'll try and invite you again, Havoc. I'll try and not to pause overly. It's a bit annoying about being a solo commentator, is when I have to invite people back and I have to pause the stream. It just doesn't look very nice. But so far Brando might have made a bit of a mistake, because he's 1.4 seconds behind his teammate now. And Squire is starting to close up a little bit more. Apollo on the back of Gregstar's as well. About 7/10 is the gap at the moment between those lot. But here comes the DRS train. Everyone's going to be slipstreaming off Brando here. Brando's not going to have DRS. His teammate is a bit too far ahead. Yellow flag. RSF1 Hunt is out. He's had a bit of an off turn 13 or turn 14. Virtual safety car is redeployed. No one's going to take this opportunity to pit by the looks of it. Reese thinks about it, does do it. Both the AlphaTauris, Alfa Romeo, sorry, are going to pit. We've lost 2 people in the opening 4 laps of the race, and both of them been on their own, both of them resulting in virtual safety cars. So that's 2 out of 4 of our safety car quota has been used. Richard also follows the 2 Alphas into the pits, and it is medium tyres for both of them. Gregstar's comes out ahead of Daleks. Well, Daleks overtakes as he is under pit conditions, so he can, or can he not? I don't know. Okay, no, yeah, he was under pit conditions, so that's how he got past. This is what you can do. You can kind of race out of there. It's a bit cheeky, but legal, as Gangster Out picks up a penalty for speeding. Drive-through penalty, speeding under the virtual safety car. All my deltas have gone weird, so I don't know the gaps to anyone. And I'm probably not going to know until they all cross the line, so I'm just going to have to try and rely on my eyes, I suppose. But Despair has not had the best of virtual safety car restarts. But still remains that AlphaTauri 1-2, Honda 1-2-3. Andrew sitting in 4th. He's got past Paperstream. Up into 4th position for him. Yellow flags, and that is Richard, I believe. Gone for a bit of a spin. No damage though. I think he's perfectly fine. I got away with that. And now we'll have my gaps back. Yes, my beautiful gaps have returned. Paperstream will have DRS here on Andrew. I don't know if he's going to be close enough to fight back at him by any means. Don't think so. Reese going for a move on Gangster out. Gangster out with a drive-through penalty, of course. Comes in to serve it immediately. Daleks has used his deploy. Yeah, Gangster Al is going to be going down the order. Not exactly ideal for the Haas. Just out of the points now. Around about P12, I believe. Havoc will maybe have him. I believe he does. They're side by side. Havoc tries to hang it around the outside. Going to get in the slipstream of the Haas. Pulls to the inside. Up into P11 for the Mercedes. Back up at the front. Despair back out the 1 second barrier to his teammate. They're dragging Squire along, but these guys 12 seconds up the road from anyone else. But that is primarily because the top three are the only three that haven't pit. So they didn't make the most of either of those VSCs. They elected to stay out, stay on their own whims. But Brando could be looking for a move for his teammate here. Doesn't have a lot of straight line speed. He's going to pull out of Despair pits. Brando didn't activate his DRS at all. Squire pits as well, so they're pitting very early indeed. 6 laps. That's going to be medium tyres for the Red Bull. What about the AlphaTauri? Mediums as well. Andrew is going to be elevated up into P2. Paperstream momentarily into a podium place as well. And that's going to be... Oh no, Reese gets through as well. Reese is going to be side by side with Despair. Despair gets that move done though. Reese tries to go for the cutback line. Didn't quite work though. But he has the DRS on the AlphaTauri here. He's going to go for a move down turn 3. Don't think he's quite close enough. No, he's not. Let me change the things to the tyres now. There we go. I don't need the position indicators anymore. Paperstream at the moment, collecting his own little train. Despair is probably going to go for a move here. Ooh, hits the back of the Haas. The Haas broke a little bit earlier than Despair was probably expecting. And the castle section as well. So cautious for Paperstream just to get through, and he gets through in one piece, which is all that matters. And Despair darts out of the way, or darts down the inside anyway, as Paperstream kind of gets out of the way. Oh, I think there was a bit of contact there between Reese and Paperstream, and an allied Squire as well. They're all getting a bit caught up here behind the Haas. As Bradford is out. He is out just past castle section. Virtual safety car number 3. Go on. You know you want to. It's normal safety car. We've been upgraded. So Brando pits, and that is absolutely perfect for him. So he could full well maintain the lead here. There we go. Lags up the pit lane, but this should be the lead of the race. For the AlphaTauri, it's worked absolute wonders for him, staying out the extra lap. And Brando now inherits the race lead. Lap 7 of 26 here. Squire comes into the pits. I'm not sure what tyres he's going on. No, it's a front wing change and another set of mediums, so there's definitely contact between Reese and himself. But AlphaTauri back up into both podium positions, P2 and 3, but splitting them is an Alpine of Andrew. Currently on the hard tyres, he has been since lap 1, since the virtual safety car on lap 1. Apollo just hanging on to the points at the moment in P9, Greg Stars in P8, Daleks in P7, Tazonic in 6th in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. Paperstream still in P4 after he hasn't pit yet. Havoc just inside the top 10 as well. That one sole point at the moment going to the Mercedes. I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. I don't know if they were trying to overtake each other or something there, but I saw the position indicator move. It was Gangster Al goes into the wall under safety car and is out. Squire was going very, very slowly, and he has no front. Oh no, he does have a. I thought he has blended into the wall there. I thought he didn't have an end plate there. I was like, did he have a part to play? Oh, as Richard gets a puncher for running over the debris. So he's going to have to limp back to the pits and chuck on another set of tyres. Luckily there is safety cars, so he'll be perfectly fine. But he could lose a heaping of time to Eclipse. He will be taking P13 as it stands. But ever so careful up the castle section for Richard. Richard is under fueled as well, I've just noticed, so he's got to be very careful. Although it is safety car, so he has plenty of opportunity to save some fuel now. But that, I believe, is the second puncher I've seen this season after running over debris. Oh, goes into the wall. Lucky to still be in the race there. I thought that would have sheared a tyre off. Paperstream pits as well as Reese. Clips up into P13 now. I don't know if he's going to get close enough to Richard here, even with his puncher. He will be going a lot slower, and Eclipse will be going without a front wing. I was about to say, it didn't look like there was a front wing in any of that suspension bit. So Eclipse now has to pit as well, where he could have got ahead of Richard there. Reese on the softs, Paperstream on the hards. Paperstream will be going to the end of the race on those, no doubt, unless there's another safety car. But that elevates a lot of people up a position. But Richard makes it back to the pit safe and sound. So well done to the Mercedes driver. And he'll be able to get a new set of tyres on. Probably a set of hards or another set of mediums. No, it's another set of mediums. Eclipse should be mediums or hards for him. There's no point going on another set of softs at this stage. So I'm a little bit puzzled as to why Reese has, but I suppose he's banking on another safety car. And he's just going to try and get back through the field the best he can with those fresh softs. But, Eclipse into the pits now. Let's have a look and see what tyres. Mediums and a new front wing for the Aston Martin. But Brando then, I guess the story of the safety car at the moment. Brando is now leading this race after the very well-timed safety car. His teammate pit a lap before. Brando didn't, and he has reaped the benefits very, very well indeed. And that is him now into the lead of this race. I think we'll have the safety car for one more lap as we wait for Richard and Eclipse to catch up to the field. So far, yeah, quick rundown of the new positions then, I suppose, while we're still under safety car. Brando P1, Andrew P2, Despair P3, Tazonic now up to 4th, Daleks in 5th, Greg Stars into 6th, Apollo in 7th, Havoc in 8th, Allied Squire 9th, Paperstream rounding out the top 10, Reese in 11th, Richard in 12th, and Eclipse P13. The last of the running cars. We've lost 4. We've lost Gangster Al, Bradford, RSF1 Hunt, and 5 Crown. Ooh, Squire's gone for a spin at turn 1 there. Let's let him down into P11 now. Elevating Paperstream and Reese up a position. So it's just these two. They'll be on the back of the safety car this lap, but the safety car should be in this lap regardless anyway. And then we can get back to racing. We'll have a 3-lap period before DRS is re-enabled. But it's very interesting to see a lot of people have gone for hards. They can definitely get you to the end of the race. It's going to be a bit touch and go with the likes of Andrew, Tazonic and Greg Stars. They're on 6th lap. Apollo, a 6th lap hold. mediums as well as Havoc. They're also going to be very touch and go getting to the end of this race, although there is only 17 laps remaining. So they could probably, I think they could get away with it. It's just very touch and go. Brando could definitely go to the end. Despair could definitely go to the end. Daleks are going to be a bit touch and go. Paperstream could definitely go to the end on those hards. Reese is going to be probably have to pit again. Squire could probably go to the end. Richard could go to the end, and Eclipse could probably go to the end as well. Safety car in this lap. So we're on board with the leader Brando then, seeing what kind of safety car restart he will get as the Mercedes drives off into the distance. And Brando will be weaving, getting temperature into his tyres, dictating the pace, and choosing his moment to go. But he can go basically as soon as the safety car is in the pit lane, and then he can go as and when he pleases. Probably going to want to leave it as late as possible just to maximise his chance. And there we go, he is gone. Tazonic's got a pretty good restart there. He's already challenging Despair. On board with the Ferrari then. Round the outside into turn 1. Could see this go. Andrew also looks to the inside of Brando. Doesn't quite get the move done though. Reese down the inside of Paperstream. Apollo is in the wall. He maybe had a bit of contact with someone. Rejoins safely. But, I don't know if he was maybe sideswiped by someone. Despair gets past Andrew out of turn 2. I think Andrew might have made a mistake of some kind, but AlphaTauri back into the 1-2 position. Havoc has got past Greg Stars. Daleks tries to go up the inside of Tazonic there, but no room going for him. As Reese getting caught up in this little battle between Havoc and I think is Despair has passed Brando. I believe it might be team orders there. Brando has passed Despair. Or let Despair pass, perhaps. So maybe that's what he's just going for. For now, we're just going to wait, sit behind him with the DRS or something, just try and maximise the points for the AlphaTauris this weekend. Oh, it hits the wall, and that could be a front wing pretty much gone for the AlphaTauri. Straight after he loses the lead. Paperstream up into, or now down into P9, or P8, sorry. 2 Red Bulls, P9 and 10. Apollo just outside the points now. As Eclipse is out in the castle section. Is that going to be another safety car? Yes, it is. Safety car number 4 of the race. Oh, Tazonic. Not entirely sure what happened there. Just maybe did he get hit? But Dalek slows down. I don't know if he's going to let him through or not. No. Bit of lag going on, I think, at the moment. It's interesting to watch. But, is he going to pit? I think Taz doesn't pit. It passes Daleks, which is fair enough, I suppose. We're having a bit of a race under safety car. There's contact, and Tazonic has spun round. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there then. Battling under safety car is a bit stupid. Brando pits, new front wing, medium tyres, sorry. Reese on the mediums as well. He can go to the end. That's also mediums for Apollo with a new front wing after his misdemeanors at turn 1. Allied Squire has pit for hards as well as his teammates, so he's going to be held up a fair bit. But everyone, well, a lot of people, well, 7th down, all on fresh tyres. But Richard up into P6, what a hero at this current moment in time in the Mercedes. But Despair currently leads us from Andrew. Daleks in 3rd after a bit of a controversial moment with Tazonic, who is now 4th. Paperstream in 5th, Richard 6th, Havoc in 7th, Brando down into 8th, Reese in 9th, Greg Stars 10th. Apollo in P11 and Allied Squire the last of the running cars this race. And out of the race we have Eclipse, Gangster Al, Bradford, Hunt and Oris, great, and 5 Crown. I was going to say Hunt's gamer tag in 2 parts. There's 2 different drivers. But, no, 5 Crown is the last remaining. Well, the first DNF, the last remaining to read out. So around about halfway now, well, we'll definitely be halfway by the time the safety car ends. So just waiting. Well, the grid is now going to be pretty much bunched together as Allied Squire comes around the last corner now. Tazonic re-overtakes Daleks. I think he might be pitting here. Yes, he is. So Taz comes into the pits, maybe a little bit of damage or something. Into the pits comes the Ferrari. Medium tyres to the end, I guess is my prediction. Yes, they are. Mediums and a new front wing, so he's definitely got damage with those misdemeanors with Daleks. This has definitely been a very long race indeed. We're not even halfway yet, and we've used 4 safety cars. We've only got another 2 left. For the rest of the race, so I wouldn't bank on pitting too much under all these safety cars and everything. I would have definitely expected Andrew to pit. So I'm a bit puzzled as to why he hasn't, but maybe he's trying to go to the end, do the entire race on a set of hards, which is fair enough, I suppose. It's a bit of a audacious strategy. But it could pay off for him. We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a quick look at the position changes. So, Despair, where he started, Andrew up 10, Daleks up 4, Paperstream up 9, Richard and Havoc, both Mercedes up 10, Brando down 5, Reese down 4, Greg Stars down 3, Apollo, where he started, Allied Squire down 8, and Tazonic down 7. Andrew is the only driver left on the field to make a pit stop. Because, yeah, he did start on those hards. So, yeah, he definitely has to make a stop. But it's 1 stops for the other 3 in the top 4. It's 2 stops for Richard, Havoc and Brando, 3 stops for Reese, 2 and 2 for Greg Stars and Apollo, 3 for Squire and 2 for Tazonic. Safety car is now in this lap. It'll be Despair dictating the pace. He will be backing these guys up probably as much as possible, allowing the time for the safety car to come in, and try and warm up his tyres last minute. But about to get back underway here then in Azerbaijan for lap 13 once we cross the line of 26. Despair is gone. And he's timed that pretty well. Squire and Apollo already having a bit of battle, as is Tazonic. It's pretty much all as it was at the front. Might have a few moves further back. Greg Star's looking around the outside of Reese there. Didn't quite get anything of it though. It's everyone pretty much staying where they were. Havoc and Richard. Richard is now down into P7 now, maybe even P8 as Reese gets through as well. Yeah, down into P8 here. Greg Stars thought about a move, as did Apollo on Craig Stars. But no real going for them right now, as Brando already up into P6 on his charge back up to the top. But Apollo, has he had a bit of a incident, or has he just been overtaken? He's had an incident. That's a lot of, yeah, there's a little bit of front wing missing for Apollo there. But, well, that's very close to the wall there for we have Andrew out of the session. That's a castle section. That is going to cause a huge pile up here. Not quite though, everyone avoids it very nicely. Andrew is out of the race. Apollo has a rear puncher. Daleks is retired as well. Daleks has done a Roman Grosjean. And that only leaves 10 in the race. Apollo, even with his second puncher because of sim damage of the season. Please be careful, for the love of Jesus. Just stick it in 8th gear and leave it there. Trust me. Just whack it up into 8th. Don't change gear. Oh my god. Just... if anyone in Kieran's part is watching the stream, I guess the likes of Jack or Brad or Adam, tell him to go into 8th, leave it there, and use minimal amounts of steering. Because otherwise he's going to spin and hit the wall and he's going to lose easy points. There you go. Good boy. He's just got to get back to the pits now. His tyre momentarily re-inflated there. I just looked back and it was like, oh yeah, it's up in the air. No, it's not. It's gone. Well, this is the penultimate safety car we have now, so any incidents after this one, or after the next one, well, we'll only have one more safety car. Hey, there we go. He's in the pits. He made it, only just. Oh, that's going to be a crawl. Oh no, 24 kilometers an hour. It is riveting pace. You could probably get out and walk faster. Come on, I believe. Get along the pit lane. The pit crew are just there. They could easily come back and just give you a push, and you'll probably go more than 25 kilometers an hour. There you go, soft tyres. Probably going to have to pit again. But, oh, hello. It is dark. Are we going to have rain? Is it literally going to be a repeat of last season? But I don't think this was a safety car glitch. This is just pure incompetence. But, so that explains why probably a lot of people got... That explains then Reese and Apollo now on softs, and that also explains why Andrew didn't want to pit. He was going to go to the rain that's probably scheduled at the end of this race. Both streams P2, lads. Just want to point that out. Absolute hero. Richard's in the pits. Is that like his 5th stop? No, it's his 3rd stop. Squire and Reese are not too far away from 5 stops. But Apollo coming through the middle sector, he'll be the last of the cars to catch back onto the queue, but he has survived the treacherous rear puncture. And will be able to carry on going. But Havoc up into the podium places as well in the Mercedes, so well done to him, considering he wasn't in the lobby on lap 1, and now he's running 3rd. But yeah, Paper Stream at the moment P2, I don't know, I definitely want to try and stay there at least, it's just whether or not he can do it. We'll have a lot of fast guys behind him that want to get through ASAP. But there's about 11 laps left. I've got a feeling there's rain on the horizon. Exactly the same as last season. But, so yeah, safety car, probably another lap. Yeah, and then it will be most likely a 10-lap sprint. Or whenever the rain arrives, I suppose. I could probably picture maybe a few split strategies. Someone tries to stay out on the hards, or on the dry. Sorry. Someone's going to try and Paper Stream always goes into the back of despair. But yeah, I wonder if that's going to be a thing. I don't know how quickly this rain's going to come. Or if it'll even be here at all. But I'd imagine the chances are astronomically higher if it was going to rain from the beginning of the race. There's definitely a lot higher chance of the rain actually hitting now, considering we've been under safety car for so long. Because we've used 5 out of 6 of the safety car quota, because even virtual safety cars count towards that. And we've had 2 virtuals and now 3 normals. 3 full safety cars. Richard comes into the pits for us at hards. Which will might not elevate Apollo up. Depends on how quickly that pit crew get that car back out. No, I think Apollo will take P9 here. Yes, he will, because Richard has only just left the spit box. Up it's P9 for Apollo at this current moment in time. It'll be 2 points for him at this current moment in time. As long as he finishes, I believe 90% is lap 23. The rain is here now. I've seen the spots on the cars, and here comes the rain. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, there's a pharmacy there. Hang on. Go back. I want to see the pharmacy. It's there, look. The green signs. Here we go. Apollo's going to drive past it. Pharmacy. There it is. Lovely stuff. I wonder if they've put it in the game, but behind that barrier at Castle section, there's a bit of an adult shop there. I don't think they have, because this is a 3 rated game. But there is definitely a bit of R rated stuff going on at the Apex of Castle section. But yeah, this rain is definitely going to shake up a lot of things then. So this is very early, so it's going to be raining for the rest of the race. Will anyone blink? I don't think anyone's going to pit this early. Safety car is in this lap. So probably going to have a couple of laps of absolute chaos where it's going to be quite hard to keep it on the road. Until everyone switches over to those intermediate tyres. Despair will be dictating the pace. Although in this kind of condition, it's not overly beneficial to warm up your tyres this much. You could just go, really. In the crossover point, you actually kind of want cold tyres slightly, because your tyres are going to run colder anyway. Despair is absolutely gone. He's left everyone in the dust. Brando's got an amazing restart, already passing Havoc. He had to give the place back though, because it was still yellow flags, but then retakes it, and Paper Stream in one fell swoop. That's contact further back with one of the Red Bulls. I think that's Allied Squire, and then also Tazonic caught up in that as well. Greg Star's up in the 5th position. Reese is absolutely centred down the inside of Allied Squire. Squire flicks it round in the escape road. That's going to put him down this P10. Tazonic getting back past Greg Stars here. I don't know if Greg Stars has a little bit of damage from any of that contact at turn 1. I don't know if it was his Red Bull, but I don't think it was, if Allied Squire is the one that's gone up in the escape road. Side by side through turn 3 between Tazonic and Greg Stars, and it's the Ferrari that comes out on top of the Red Bull, only just, but the Ferrari comes out first. Squire is retired at turn 3. Is that going to be another safety car? I don't think so, because it's a bit too close to the other one. No, it's not. Okay, otherwise it would have come out by now. Havoc right on the back of Brando though for P3 at this current moment in time. Paper Stream is round. I don't think he has a front. Oh no, he does have a front wing. He's fine. He's just gone a bit deep. Might have locked a rear and gone straight on, but he's still in the race. He's still P9. But Reese slowly getting onto the back of it. So DRS must be disabled now. The rain lights are flashing, so I'm going to assume we're not too far away from intermediate conditions, or they're basically here. We'll have to wait and see. Anyone going to blink? I'd imagine someone will. So cautious through the last couple of corners is Despair. What about Brando? Yeah, lifting now. It's definitely going to be very close to Winters. Tazonic's got an amazing run though. He's going to deplete his battery, try and get into the back of Havoc. But I could see a lot of people pitting here. Yeah. Despair pits, Brando pits, Havoc pits. Tazonic stays out the extra lap, as does Greg Stars. Apollo pits. Rich is going to pit. Paper Stream stays out. So you've got 3 people electing to stay out on those dry tyres, and you've got 3. Oh no, you got everyone else. Sorry, you got the other 6 Going on to the Inters, Despair has come out ahead of Paperstream. Oh, that's a huge slide for Paperstream. It's going to come out right on board with the race leader Tazonic. It's currently in time, although Havoc has jumped Brando due to Brando having to wait for his teammate. Even though they've kind of fixed the double stacking, it still hurts you a bit. And Brando has been hurt by it because he's now P6. Havoc, at the moment, Havoc's a net P2, providing anyone hits. Paperstream is in the wall. I think he's missing a bit of front wing as well, for good measure. Reese avoids him, just. But yeah, it's going to be a big limp back to the pits for the Haas. He'll still get points as long as he finishes. But it was definitely the lap just gone was the lap to pit. Just definitely hear the engine notes from Greg Stars. Tazonic locks up and almost goes straight on into the wall. But Greg Stars gets through pretty cleanly, very slow though. And Despair is literally here. He's going to go down. Yeah, easy move. There's no answer from Greg Stars with those slick tyres in these conditions. There's literally nothing he can do. There's Paperstream. Oh, Paperstream is out at turn 13. That's another casualty. Safety car. The last safety car of the race has been deployed. Don't know how much that's going to benefit Taz and Greg Stars though. But that is the last safety car of the weekend. This will probably go to about lap 20, and it will just be a 6-lap sprint to the end. Tazonic has stayed out. Again, what? Huh? This is some like 2020 levels of Ferrari right now. This is incredibly interesting. It looks Inters. But Tazonic is like, mate, I'll just make do with the dries. It really doesn't matter. I'll make my own grooves, it's fine. Just get a little knife or something, just cut your own grooves into the tyres, and that'll do nicely. I'm very, very puzzled as to why Tazonic has stayed out. But he has taken the lead, regardless. Despair in P2, Havoc in P3, Brando P4, Reese P5, Greg Stars P6, Apollo P7, Richard P8. Richard will be getting points, lads. So will Apollo. It's absolutely biblical scenes right now, Jeff. But yeah, we should have at least another lap or two under the safety cars. It'll either be lap 20 or lap 21 we'll resume racing. Or well, no, it'll be lap 21 or 22, should I say. Let's just see. I want to look and see what Tazonic does, because it's very peculiar that he stayed out. I don't know if he's going to pit now and he's going to kind of drop to near the back. Oh, that was a bit of a slide there, trying to warm up his tyres. But is he going to pit or is he going to carry on staying out? I don't know if the rain's meant to stop very quickly, and that's why Taz is deciding to stay out. He stays out again. No, he pits. Okay. Alright, so Taz drops himself to pretty much last with the interesting tactics. But then that's basically as it was. Despair leads, Havoc second, Brando third, Reese fourth, he almost goes straight on into the wall. Greg Stars fifth, Apollo in sixth, Tazonic down to eighth as Richard takes seventh. And we've lost about half the field. So we have Paperstream, Squire, Daleks, Andrew, Eclipse, Gangster Al, Bradford, Hunt, and Five are all the drivers out of the race. And yeah, this is the last safety car we will have the entire weekend. We have used our safety car quota. 2 virtuals and 4 standard safety cars. But yeah, I could definitely see the safety car in this lap, so we'll get around about 5 laps of racing. Lap 21 to 26. Well, I'll technically be 6 then, because it includes the last lap. Because there's 7 laps to go right now. So yeah, it'll be 6 laps of racing, providing it comes in this lap. There will be no more safety cars after this one. There are no lap cars to intervene this time, so we don't have to worry about anything like that. Every car is where it should be on track. Everyone's within a little cushion of about 5 or 6 seconds. Yeah, everyone is caught back up. Tazonic on the back of the queue now. You can definitely see the safety car lights turn off. There we go. And safety car will be in this lap. So as Despair will be warming up his tyres, probably a bit more than usual. Now you probably do need to, as it's intermediate conditions. Backing up very, very heavily. So it's just going to be being very careful on that throttle pedal on this restart. And you could probably gain a few positions just by being that a little bit careful. But Despair backing everyone up very, very much indeed. And he's probably going to go any second now. Yes, he does. Very bunched up, but then he goes pretty quickly. Tazonic has already passed Richard. That's yellow flags. Okay, fair enough. Everyone's basically stayed in position with the exception of Taz overtaking Richard. Back up to P7 for the Ferrari. Now he's got his sights set on Apollo. P6 for the Williams so far. If Apollo gains one more position, he'll equal Eclipse point tally. I'm only saying that because I know you're watching, Jack. But I think he's about to lose one here. Yeah, it doesn't make it difficult at all for Tazonic. Just wants to finish the race, get some points on the board. Sensible thing to do. And down is P7, but at least still in the race at this current moment in time for Apollo. Havoc is absolutely holding up a bit of a trolley train here, I suppose. He's got Brando right behind, as well as Reese. Greg Star's almost joining in, and now Tazonic is also free to venture onto the back of this little Congo line. But 2.6 seconds is the gap to Despair. Basically led start to finish. Or there have been times where he's obviously pit and he's lost those positions, but he started on pole, and at the moment he's on course to win unless anything drastic happens. But his teammate is currently trying to get past Havoc here for a podium. Havoc goes a tiny bit wide. It's going to affect his run. Brando's got a good run on the Mercedes. Switches to the right and easily passed up into P2. Back to the AlphaTauri 1-2. And Havoc down to third. Might not be the end of the suffering as Reese sends it from a long way back. Not quite the room to commit to that move though. And Reese has to bide his time just for that little bit longer. Havoc momentarily, or at the moment, still holding on to P3. 22-26, 4 laps remain of this race. Tazonic on the back of Greg Stars as well. The battle for 5th position. We have yellow flags as Richard off at turn 1. He is kept out of the walls, however. He just needs to do one more lap and then he's done 90%. So even if he was to crash, he'd still get points as of literally next lap. Despair at the moment, complete world of his own right now. Brando, I don't know if he's going to start closing in on him. Not at the moment. 3.2 seconds is now the gap just from Castle section. Well, maybe it's coming down now. Yeah, Brando got a much better launch out of Castle then, but Despair still 2.8 up the road. That's going to be a very tall order for Brando to catch. It's definitely possible. He's just got to absolutely send these last few laps and just hope he's got the pace over his teammate. But it's definitely been Despair that has looked on course to be the better of the two this weekend. But at the moment, it is an AlphaTauri 1-2. That's the most important thing for their constructors' fight. 28 points could be going to these guys. It definitely is, because Despair holds fastest lap. So Despair could be getting 16 points here and Brando getting 12. But Tazonic going for a move here on Greg Stars. This will be for P5 as the podium position battle goes to Reese at the moment. Goes through and it has stopped raining. The rain is gone. But I don't know if it's going to dry up enough, if anyone's going to be bold and go for a set of softs or something at the end. Richard in the wall, but he is still within the race. So Havoc now down into 4th position. He was running 2nd, so he's going to be a little bit annoyed at that, I'd imagine. But just those guys that have passed him, just a complete different league at the moment. These guys are so fast. But Havoc has still done very well indeed to keep with Reese at this current moment in time, but Reese is closing in on Brando as well. So it could also be a bit of a battle for P2 here. I'm going to imagine everyone will probably stay out, even though the track is starting to dry. I don't think it's not dry enough for slicks yet. There's still puddles either side of the racing line. But definitely might not be too much longer anyway at this current moment in time. We'll stay on board with Havoc for now. He's the closest car to another one. P4 at the moment for the Mercedes driver. It will still be a good haul of points for him. And also his teammate currently getting 3 points as it stands. Apollo also getting 4, so he'll be tying with McLaren's tally after a double DNF for the Woking outfit. So Apollo and Hunt will be tied on points as it currently stands. But Havoc starting to drop back. He has no ERS, so he's definitely going to be down a lot in any form of straight line. 24, 26, 3 laps now remain. Reese is closing in onto the back of Brando as well, but Brando has an ERS advantage, which at this track is absolutely huge. Reese double lock up into turn 1, a little bit wide for the Alfa Romeo. Tazonic also closing in on Havoc now. Havoc could be going from bad to worse here if the Ferrari can say anything about it. And the Ferrari is closing very rapidly indeed. This is could now be a 3-way battle, as Reese did make a mistake a moment ago, and that brought Havoc back into the vicinity. So we'll ride on board with Havoc. Here's the car in the middle. Could maybe even bring Greg Stars into this. Apollo kind of just cruising on his own at this current moment in time, just making sure he secures those point finishes, which he has now done. We've done 90% of the race. So even if something unfortunate was to happen to any other drivers right now, they would still be classified, albeit, I guess, 8th if they were to crash now. Oh, it's a bit of a wiggle and a hit of the wall there for Havoc. He's got away with no damage though. The rear suspension pretty sturdy on these F1 cars, thankfully. Otherwise that could have been a rear tyre off for him, or at least a puncture. But that track is starting to dry a fair bit now. Tazonic, a lot of rotation there. That looked very violent from the Ferrari. Probably got a dry setup on, I'd imagine. I'd imagine a lot of people have dry setups on anyway, just as because that's kind of how it is around this track. Even if it rains, you can usually get away with dry setup. Otherwise, it's just going to be a sitting duck in the straights, and that's basically where you're going to. That's the only place to overtake around this circuit. Sector 1 yellows. Richard is in the wall again at turn 3. I think he's got away with it though. Yeah, he's avoided the walls nicely. No damage for the Mercedes. Greg Stars closing in on the back of Tazonic. Havoc has lost so much time to Havoc, and that's why no ERS. DRS has been enabled, so it's enough to warrant dries. Oh, I would have said to Kieran there, be like, Pit, go for fastest lap, but he's run out of laps now, so he won't be able to. You can get an extra point for yourself, because you won't lose anything else. But, no, it's a bit too late now, unfortunately, but DRS enabled, that's going to definitely spice things up, especially with this little battle for P4 at this current moment in time with Havoc, Tazonic and Greg Stars. And Havoc with no ERS is going to be a sitting duck for a lot of this here. So he's just got to try and hold on the best he can with what little engine power he has to work with. Basically full batteries for the two behind him. It's definitely full batteries for the Alpha Tower. He's just getting very close to the wall there through Castle section. 5.1 is the lead of El Despair. He's completely run away with this race. This has been thoroughly in his control. We still have one more lap as Tazonic goes very wide at turn 12 there. But Greg Stars closing in. Taz just needs another 10th and a bit and then he'll be within DRS. I don't think anyone's going to go for a gamble and pit. There's literally no point, although it is very dry and you're kind of overheating your tyres now. I guess the only person that probably could is Apollo, but even then that is not going to be enough to gain him a fastest lap or anything. But it's just he's got nothing to lose behind him and I don't think he'll be gaining anything in front of him. But I guess whatever you're more comfortable with, if you want to go for the tyres that are actually suited to these conditions, you can, or if you want to chance those inters, but anyone at the top basically has no choice but to do that. Last lap now of this race. Richard is dangerously close to being a lap down. And Apollo stays out, fair enough to him. He won't be losing anything this race anyway. But Greg Star's got the DRS on Tazonic. If I was Taz, I kind of just pull over and let him go, and then you can retake that on the last point. But I think Greg Stars knows that as well, which is probably why he stayed behind. Yellow flags, that is Richard getting thoroughly out of the way of Despair. Hopefully he'll also get out of the way of... oh, he's out. He will still be classified, although he's out. Hopefully everyone manages to avoid him. Yeah, he's parked in a decent place, so no one will hit him. But Richard, even with the DNF, will still be classed 8th, as he's done 90% of the race. And he's riding on board currently at this moment in time. What I'll do this little cheeky thing. There we go. Right, I'm ready to spectate Greg Stars, so there we go. Although Havoc is also on the back of Reese, that's something maybe to look for as well, especially if he holds that the DRS window. He could take a podium at the last gasp here. But here is the man, led pretty much start to finish. A few moments where he wasn't in the lead, but that trophy was as good as his pretty much from lap 1 as Apollo goes for a spin. He's luckily still in the race. But it's going to be fireworks, champagne and glory for the other AlphaTauri. 4 winners in 4 races. El Despair crosses the line and wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Brando completes the podium, making it an AlphaTauri 1-2. Reese will come home 3rd, but here we go. Is Greg Stars going to be close enough to take P5 off Tazonic? I don't think he is. It's going to be close. Pulls to the right, and it is enough by 2 milliseconds. What a photo finish between those two. Havoc dropped down, although he didn't have a penalty. Havoc will be class P4, I believe. He didn't have a penalty. Let me just double check race director while I wait for Apollo to finish. Havoc. Yeah, Havoc will be P4. That's a timing issue. So Greg Stars takes 5th. Tazonic is 6th, but by the slenderest of margins. Look at that, 0.002. Apollo, do a burnout. There we go, across the line, and it's points for the Williams driver. P7 belongs to him, and Richard still classified P8. Havoc gets driver of the day. I still agree he will be classified P4 after the timing issue, but the new closest finish then, although it's not for a race win I suppose, but the new closest finishing margin, 2 thousandths of a second. between Greg Stars and Tazonic, literally at that last gasp. But there you go. It is an all-alpha podium, but it's the Tauris that have taken P1 and 2, and the Romeo sits P3. So once this podium celebration has ended, we'll get the drivers in, ready for a podium interview. I don't know if all of them will be doing it. I definitely know Reese will, and I imagine Despair would. Probably good for his ego or something. Right, Reese, let's invite him. Okay. Brando. And Despair. Right. There's one, just got to wait for the other two now. There's Reese. As always, my man is broadcasting. He's always got his own little stream on. What a legend. Right, I don't know if Brando's joining. His Despair leaves, okay. Oh, there's Despair, he's back. Brando's not going to be able to make it. He's probably typing me a message or something. Right, okay, so I'll just do it with you two then. Okay, so the podium then starts LR Despair P1, Brando P2, Reese P3. As always, do it back to front. Starting with Reese, the man that has finished 4 times in a row on the podium. You must be getting bored up here. You know, probably never boring to be a podium, but yeah, I guess. Oh, it's a bit of a tough one to recall your race. You've been very up and down the grid, lots of pit stops, 5 absolutely scintillating strategy from the Alfa Romeo race. But you've come away with a podium at least, so I guess the best way of asking is give us an overview.
Oh my god, how long have we got?
As long as you need, mate. It's fine, I've got all evening.
Yeah, each podium is feeling a lot better than the last. It's like having to work a lot harder for them. A lot of things I felt out of my control today, especially with the pit stop. So I'd selected to go onto the medium, and then it put softs on, and then I selected for something else, and it put the other tyre on. It got a puncture from I don't know who it was. Someone had a collision at the castle section, and there was just debris everywhere, so there's no avoiding that. Had side pod damage from there was a little battle with paper stream at some point, but yeah, just didn't leave, stuck with it, and we get a podium again, which is great. It's obviously great for the championship as well. Have a really nice lead over Clar now. But yeah,
I definitely think. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you're finished or not. I don't know if I just interrupted.
No,
sorry.
That's it. That's fine.
Yeah, I think it's now Brando you're leading over rather than Clar, with Clar missing this race and Brando P2, because Brando was literally right behind Clar in the standings. But you've definitely got a very comfortable lead at least at this current moment in time, so that's always good. But that's in the drivers. However, I think with these top 2, your constructors is definitely now under threat. But Brando not able to make it. I think he did send me a message, so I'll quickly read it out. I think I'll have to beep one of the words. Here we go. I will not be making the interview, but please let Despair know this. Let's beeping go. The Brando with a 1-2 finish for the AlphaTauri, so congratulations to him. A bit sad that he couldn't make it, but yeah, well done to Brando. So we'll move on to the other AlphaTauri then. I suppose let's interview this one. Despair. Pole position, fastest lap, race win. Not quite led every lap, so you can't fully complete your ego streak there because you didn't lead every lap. But you're still definitely the man to beat out there today, and just in complete control from what I saw. I guess give us a thingy.
Basically, yeah. I was annoyed at how many safety cars there was. Just too many. I couldn't ever build like any sort of gap. You know, whenever I got 2 seconds in front, there was a safety car. On and on and on, over and over. And then, you know, the thing is, I got my fastest lap on the first lap. It just sums up this race really, how fucking boring it was. You know, I mean, obviously other people crashing is not very boring, but it was just a very boring race. I'm happy with P1, you know. Hopefully I can pick up my form after this and, you know, actually challenge for the title instead of being, you know, way down the order, which I shouldn't be. Yeah, I had wing damage like last 6 laps, I think. Brushed slightly the barrier. So yeah, I was in control and just start to finish, you know, good race.
Well, yeah, as the full bag of points going to you and also your team with the 1-2 finish. That's
Easy.
28 points into the AlphaTauri camp with the new point scoring system. But that's definitely going to put you right up there. Definitely in constructors. Drivers I'll have to work out, which I'll be doing in a minute.
I think it puts me like 24 points behind Reese.
Or something like that. That'll probably be about P3 or P4, something around. Definitely top 5 at least, but well done anyway on the P1. I'm stuck on this screen, which is brilliant, but it's fine because I can just outro this anyway. But yeah, so that has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix round number 4. We'll be back next week for Imola, the San Marino Grand Prix, although the new one's Emilia Romagna, but I know it as San Marino. It's what it always has been, it's what it always will be. No one can tell me otherwise. But we'll be back for 32 laps of that lovely circuit. But yeah, that has been the start of the European leg, at least, starting with one street circuit being Baku. All things considered, a pretty good race. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So, been me in the comms box again, as always. Always nice, I suppose. Kira not crashing out this time, so I didn't have anyone to talk to, or he promised me that he'd talk to me and then didn't. So I can't exactly tell him off for it this time, because he did finish, so fair play to him. But yeah, that has been this race. Thank you everyone so much for watching. We'll be back next week for round 5 at Imola.